In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful, the especially merciful. Imagine the scene. Mecca, the year 615 CE. The air is thick with oppression, not just the desert heat. The early Muslims, a small and vulnerable community, are facing unimaginable cruelty at the hands of the Quraysh. Their crime? Their unwavering belief in the one God. They are boycotted, tortured, starved, and humiliated. Their faith is being tested in the fiercest of fires. They are trapped, with seemingly no way out. And then, a ray of hope, a divine command from the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. He points them towards a journey, a migration, a Hijra. But not to Medina, not yet. That glorious chapter is still years away. He tells them of a land to the south, a kingdom ruled by a king known for his justice and piety. A Christian king. If you were to go to Abyssinia, he said, it would be better for you. There is a king there under whom no one is wrong. It is a land of truthfulness. Can you feel their trepidation? Leaving their homes, their families, everything familiar, to travel across the harsh, unknown desert to a foreign land with a foreign ruler. But their trust in Allah and His Messenger was absolute. And so, the first migration in Islamic history began. A group of 11 men and 4 women, led by the Prophet's own cousin, Ja'far ibn Abi Talib, may Allah be pleased with him, embarked on this perilous journey. They slipped away secretly, their hearts heavy with fear but also alight with hope. They traveled for weeks, facing the scorching sun, the freezing nights, and the constant threat of pursuit by the Quraysh. They were not warriors. They were men and women of faith, their only weapon being their patience and their trust in Allah. Finally, they reached the shores of the Red Sea, secured a boat, and sailed towards an uncertain future in the land of Abyssinia. Meanwhile, in Mecca, the tyrants were enraged. How dare these Muslims escape their grip? They immediately dispatched 2 of their most cunning and ruthless negotiators, Amr ibn al-As and Abdullah ibn Abi Rabia, laden with extravagant gifts for the Abyssinian court. Their mission? To poison the king's mind and demand the extradition of these refugees. They spun a web of lies, telling King Negus, the Najashi, that these people had abandoned the religion of their forefathers and invented a new faith, and that they slandered Jesus, peace be upon him. The stage was set for a confrontation that would decide the fate of the entire Muslim community. The Muslim refugees were summoned to the court of the Negus, a grand and intimidating hall filled with priests, nobles, and the 2 smirking envoys from Mecca. The atmosphere was tense. The fate of every Muslim in Abyssinia hung in the balance. King Negus, a figure of immense dignity, turned to them and asked the critical question. What is this religion for which you have abandoned your people and not entered into my religion or any other? All eyes turned to Ja'far ibn Abi Talib. He did not stutter. He did not fear. He stepped forward, his heart connected to the divine, and delivered one of the most powerful and eloquent speeches in human history. O King, he began, we were a people in a state of ignorance and immorality, worshipping idols, eating dead animals, committing all sorts of iniquities. We severed the ties of kinship, we were bad neighbors, and the strong among us devoured the weak. He painted a picture of the bleakness of life before Islam. Then, he spoke of the light that arrived. Then Allah sent us a messenger from among us, whose lineage, truthfulness, trustworthiness, and integrity we knew. He called us to worship Allah alone and to renounce the stones and idols we and our fathers used to worship. He continued, outlining the beautiful teachings of Islam: to speak the truth, to honor trusts, to be good to kin, and to avoid what is forbidden. Then came the moment of truth. Amr ibn al-As had accused them of blaspheming against Jesus. The Negus leaned in. This was the crux of the matter for him, a devout Christian. He asked Ja'far, "What do you say about Jesus, the son of Mary?" Ja'far, without a moment's hesitation, replied with the words that had just been revealed to the Prophet Muhammad in Surah Maryam. "We say about him what our Prophet brought. He is the servant of Allah, his messenger, his spirit, and his word, which he cast into the Virgin Mary." A silence fell over the court. The Negus was deeply moved. He stretched out his hand and said, "By God, Jesus, son of Mary, does not exceed what you have said by the length of this stick." He saw the truth in their words. He saw the light of God in their faces. He turned to the Qurayshi envoys and dismissed them and their gifts with contempt. "Go, for you are not safe in my land. I would never hand them over to you." It was a stunning victory of truth over power, of eloquence over malice, of faith over persecution. The Muslims were safe under the protection of a righteous Christian king. The lessons from this incredible story are as vital today as they were 1400 years ago. First, the lesson of ultimate trust in Allah. The Muslims didn't have a detailed plan, they had faith. They trusted that the path shown by the Prophet was the best path, even if it led to the unknown. Second, the lesson of courageous dialogue. Ja'far didn't hide his beliefs. He articulated them with wisdom, respect, and breathtaking beauty, disarming the arguments of the opposition. Third, and perhaps most profound, is the lesson of divine unity beyond man-made divisions. A Muslim king in Medina would later provide refuge for Christians, and here, a Christian king in Abyssinia provided refuge for Muslims. It was a covenant of mutual respect between people of the book, based on shared values of justice, faith, and protecting the oppressed. The Hijra to Abyssinia was more than an escape. It was the first international testament to the truth of Islam. It was a story of patience in the face of adversity, unity in the face of division, and the unwavering belief that where there is faith, there is always a way, ordained by Allah Himself. It teaches us that help can come from the most unexpected places, and that the bonds of humanity and faith can be stronger than the ties of tribe or the barriers of creed. Brothers and sisters, if we have made any mistakes, we ask Allah for forgiveness. May He grant us knowledge and wisdom. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, and share this video. Jazakum Allahu khairan to each and every one of you. To be continued.